Jai Sri Ram. Welcome everybody. Welcome Vinay Ji for joining us at Bharat Marg. You are always awesome. Thank you people for joining us in Bharat Marg Live. Today we are going to discuss about Ukraine begs for Indian humanitarian aid, but insults Maa Kali and Hindus. You talk about thanklessness. You talk about many times people wonder, right, Vinayji? I'll just give the forum to you. Many times people wonder why Hindus, Indians support Russia, Putin. Why? Because because they see Putin like this, you know what I mean? This is how they see him. मिट्टी में मिला देंगे यूक्रेन को मिट्टी में मिला देंगे. People are excited about it. What do you say? This is what it is. And the example is the Christian missionary propagated war, and they want to leave no stone unturned to attack Hinduism, and because they cannot do the other one, they will lose their head. But anyway, before going further, friends, please make sure to like the video, comment on the video, share the video, and ask any questions you have. It's a very, very important video because, Ukraine is begging India for humanitarian aid. At insults Kali Mata. Will Kali Mata बोलेगी कि अपना पुटिन भाई को मिट्टी में मिला देंगे बोल दो बोल के? That's a question now to Vinay Ji. But friends, if you didn't yet, make sure to subscribe the channel Bharat Marg and also press the notification bell to make sure you stay connected with us, because we do it from abroad at different times. Anytime we do, you get a notification with the heading title, so that if it is interesting, you can come and join, ask question, give your feedback. Vinay Ji, question to you. Yes, sir. Please take it forward.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Ji. So,
Hare Krishna.
First of all, I don't want to talk about this Kali Mata ki, the insult that happened.
Mhm.
Let me. I'm going to digress for a quick second, if you permit me. Okay. I'm going to talk about the holier than thou attitude of the West. So it's always, the West has always felt that they're holier than thou. That means that it's their culture, it's their gods, it's their prerogative, it's their community, it's their people that are important, more important than anybody else in the world. That's the way they've always treated the Indians. They've always treated the Africans, the indigenous people, and the South Asian community, like I'm talking about, not just India, but I'm talking about even China, Far East,
Anybody brown, let's put it that way.
Anybody non-white, let's say that.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a right way to put it.
Yeah. So
White
that's
supremacist.
Yeah. Anybody who's a non-white is basically a low life. That's according to them. And you don't really respect their
Only
culture.
two categories for them. Okay, they call it a soft jihadi, intellectual jihadi, and other main jihadi. Like this, these guys are either they are white supremacist or intellectual cover for the white supremacist. There is nothing in between.
So a couple of times when they make a small deviation from this general rule, this is their general rule, okay, but it's only a couple of times they make a small deviation from this general rule. One is when it's election time. They need blacks, they need browns, they need Chinese, they need everybody there, indigenous people. So that's when they create all these appeasement politics. Hundreds of years ago our forefathers did this and this to the indigenous community and to the black community and to all these communities, so we are very sorry, and we want your support, we need your vote, so please vote for us. So this is their complete storyline. And the other reason is when some of these brown countries, black countries, the Chinese countries, those kind of country, the Far East countries, that's what I mean, uh, are way ahead in economy than these countries, the whites. It's not just because they're white doesn't mean that their economy is booming. Okay, so that is when they come to these countries and say, okay, we need your help, we need your aid. You remember just a couple of years ago during COVID, how many countries approached India for vaccination, right? Including United Kingdom, United States, including Canada, several countries, and these are all white dominated countries. They all came to India, said, okay, we need your vaccines. And then Ukraine, for example, now is asking India for help to mediate this war that's going on and also to help out. And despite India doing all of this for Ukraine, and also you remember in recently in Turkey there was so much of earthquake and disaster, right? India sent a whole platoon of troops there to help out, and the National Disaster Relief, they sent that NDRA, and they went there and they helped them out. So despite all of that, Ukraine, and how many people from Ukraine were evacuated, you know that, and yes, it was all with some diplomacy, and all that stuff was worked out, and that's how these people were brought back into India. But end of the day, the West continues to insult us, and the
And
latest one is the Kalima.
and Vinay Ji, any time of the day, any Indian feels that Putin is a trustable partner than these jerks. You know,
100%.
you know what the Pakistani guys sitting in California do? They want Hindus to be tapped. They made a bill and that got rejected now in California. They want the phone calls of the Hindus to be tapped because they are more loyal to Russia than Ukraine.
Correct. Yeah,
You
you're
know,
right.
and I want to say these guys, yes, they are. Go ahead, Vinay.
So let's talk about the insult to Kalima. So what they did was they took a picture of Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe was a Hollywood actress, very famous, from the, I think, from the 50s, 60s, somewhere around there, and she was one of the most beautiful ladies in Hollywood, and blah 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 and all that. Who cares? I don't really care about that. But they took that image of Marilyn Monroe and then morph the image of Goddess Kali, and they made Goddess Kali look like a cartoon version of Marilyn Monroe, and that is a huge insult to a Hindu god, and a huge insult to the Hindus and Hinduism. So
Christian
this is
missionaries
what
are
they
the
did.
most racist guys. I'm saying it. That's
Exactly.
why people don't like Ukraine,
And
no matter
guess
how
what?
much just to propagate. Yeah.
The worst part of this whole thing was this incident of morphing Goddess Kali was not done by an individual. It was not done by some private company. It was not done by some Ira Gaira person. It was not done by some non-entity in Ukraine. This was done by Ukraine's Ministry of Defense.
Yes, you can see the tweet here. They then apologized and fixed it because they know they will get kicked on the butt if they come for the humanitarian aid, begging with the begging bowl to India. People are
Exactly.
so upset with these guys.
Yeah.
So
And
their
and
begging
the
is so important for them, they have to delete the tweet.
Exactly. And then Ukraine, through its official government ID, insults Hindu gods, and then wonders why Indians prefer Russia over them. Russia has no problem with the Hindu gods or Hinduness of India. Only the liberal West does. This is the problem, right? So this is where the whole thing started, and then within a few hours or within a day, Ukraine's defense minister, what's her name? I think Amin Zepper. I think that's her name. She
Mhm.
apologized for a tweet by her country's defense ministry, depicting Hindu goddess Kali in a distorted manner. And she tweeted a statement saying, Ukraine and its people respect unique Indian culture and highly appreciate support. The depiction has already been removed. Ukraine is determined to further increase cooperation with India, that's in brackets, in spirit of mutual respect and friendship.
I just want to say one thing, Vinay Ji. I just want to say one thing. India, which is consists of 80% of Hindus, the largest religion in the world, without any forced conversion, without any bribed conversion, without any cheating conversion like these Rakshas do. Okay, guess what? Nobody wants a good relationship. They want to give a damn to Ukraine, run by this Christian mafia.
Mm-hmm. Correct. So the irony of all of this is, I just told you, I started off with saying the West is, considers themselves holier than thou.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the irony of this is Ukraine's president Zelensky was, or I shouldn't say was, actually, has been accused of embezzling $400 million of the US aid that went to Ukraine. Did you know that?
Yeah. See, both these guys are scamsters. Okay, what Biden is all about, he's a bigger scamster. And he, along with his son, he is doing a lot of business in Ukraine. So one scamster is a partner of other scamsters. So it's no big deal. But don't dare to insult me and my people and my country.
Yeah. So the this came from the U.S. journalist Seymour Hersh, and apparently the Ukrainian president and many in his entourage have been skimming untold millions. Skimming meaning embezzling, swindling untold millions of dollars from the American dollars earmarked for diesel fuel payments. One estimate by analysts from the Central Intelligence Agency, the CIA, put the embezzled funds at $400 million last year, at least, just in 1 year. Okay. So the level of corruption in Kyiv is approaching that of the Afghan war, although there will be no professional audit reports emerging from Ukraine, because Ukraine is a white country, and that's why nobody is going to pinpoint anything.
And they have, and these guys, the white guys, the supremacist syndrome they have, they will call all white country as the extremely high ranking democracy. Other guys are nothing for them.
Exactly.
No, you are a black country, so you have a poor democratic rating. These guys are the one who give the democracy rating anyway.
Oh, I'm so surprised, because look at every country in the world right now, because of this Ukraine and Russia war. The prices have gone up, inflation has gone up, unemployment is at peak, interest rates have gone up, cost of living has gone up, and it's all because everybody's blaming, it's Ukraine and Russia war. But guess what? The longer they prolong this war, the longer they extend this Russia-Ukraine war, Ukraine is the one that's going to benefit, not Russia. Because Ukraine is governed by a president who is extremely corrupt, Zelensky. He has already swindled $400 million in the last 1 year. So which means the longer he takes it, he's going to make a lot more money. And eventually, you know what? He's going to ask for refugee status in the US, asylum in the US, and then he's going to probably move to Hawaii or Florida or California and buy a mansion there and live like a king. And then Ukraine will be, who cares? He doesn't care.
Who cares about Ukraine? See, Biden, the longer it goes up, it is good for America. Biden and his son Hunter Biden has a lot of investments in Ukraine too.
Oh yeah, and then also, you know what? Any time a war is happening, it's America that makes the most amount of money from that, because they supply ammunition, and it's Ukraine is getting aid from different countries. It's not just America. So what they do is they take a portion of that aid, put that in their pocket, take a portion of that aid and give it to America and say, okay, send me some ammunition.
It is
And
like
this is what's happening.
Hillary Clinton's Haitian aid.
Exactly.
Hayati. Where is the aid? It's in my pocket.
Yep. 100%. So it's unfortunate that this is going on, but but Ukraine will never learn because they keep coming to India to ask Modi ji to mediate this whole the war that's going on, and he's crying in front of different countries saying, okay, you got to help us out, you got to help us out. But did you know that when Pokhran, the testing happened, when Vajpayee was the Prime Minister of India, when Pokhran happened, and Ukraine was the first one to condemn India and put an embargo on India. They basically said that we are going to stop all.
Oh
They
my
put
God.
sanctions on India.
Oh my God. Ukraine is such a big country. After their embargo, India shambled. I'll talk
Exactly.
about that a little bit. What happened to India
So
after
it
their
was Russia.
embargo?
Russia also condemned the testing. However, Russia did not put any embargo. Russia did not put any sanctions. Okay,
Yeah.
it was America, it was United Kingdom, it was all the other countries that grouped up, and including Ukraine, that actually grouped up and put sanctions on India.
And what
And
happened with the sanction? Who lost the most? India or these white guys?
exactly, I mean, end of the
Then,
day,
then
right?
they canceled the sanction because they couldn't do business.
Exactly, because
Literally.
they need India for trade, because
Yeah,
India is it's today India is the largest country in the world.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
and at the time
When
was
you say
second
I
largest.
won't, when you say I won't trade with you, you stupid. You lose ability to deal with one fifth of the world. What
Exactly,
are you going to
exactly,
do? Eh?
exactly.
Then again, coming with the begging bowl, please, 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 please.
And the other thing, I'll give you another fact about Ukraine. Ukraine has been supplying arms and ammunition to Pakistan for the longest time.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Because the
this,
Christian missionary and the jihadis are bye.
yeah. So
See,
they've been supplying arms and ammunition, and it's
yeah,
those
yeah, yeah, yeah.
arms and ammunition, because we
You,
always
who
used to
is
think
Ukraine? See, who is Ukraine? You had to understand. Okay, Vinay Ji, you correct me. You know much better about foreign relationships. Okay, many of our children, when they were climbing up in the train to escape the war-torn Ukraine, many of the people in Ukraine were pulling them down. So many videos came out of it. How these racists, okay, Christian missionary racists, were working against the brown children of India to make sure they don't escape in the train. Yes or no?
right.
How many videos has come?
Yeah.
And these guys are the democracy ranking is,
No. I
number
mean,
one.
in Indian intelligence, Indian army, and those people, and the border security force, people used to wonder, like, where are these Pakistanis? How are they getting hold of Russian Kalashnikovs and all that AK-47s and stuff like that? But guess what? It wasn't Russia that was supplying those Kalashnikovs. It was actually Ukraine that was supplying Kalashnikovs to Pakistan. And Pakistan, obviously, Pakistan ISI is hand in glove with the terrorists, like jihadists there, and they were obviously passing it on to the jihadists, and who used to somehow infiltrate through the border and come into India and cause a havoc in Kashmir at the time.
Havoc in Kashmir, what? Killing innocent Hindus, folks. Never
Killing
forget it.
innocent Hindus.
Okay,
Exactly.
that's a motto of this Christian missionary and jihadis.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Never forget it. They have a common
Yeah.
motto. One is doing in the Christian missionary does it in the name of we are superior in democratic rating, humanitarian rating, and these guys and jihadis say we give a damn for those things. We will do it anyway. That's
Yeah.
the only difference,
So,
But
in conclusion, I want to say one thing.
mhm,
So, Jai Shankar, who is India's external affairs minister, right?
mhm,
Like, when people asked him, how come you're still buying oil from Russia when the entire world has stopped buying oil? He said,
mhm.
you know what? We look at pros and cons. Okay. pros and cons of Russia. What have they done to support us? What have they done to harm us? And same thing we did with Ukraine. What have they done to support us? What have they done to harm us? Okay. When I look at those two lists, this is Jai Shankar talking. When I look at the two lists, I see from Russia we've benefited a lot more than from Ukraine. And Ukraine has harmed us a lot more than Russia has.
Absolutely.
So this is the reason.
All because we are a Hindu nation. Never
Yeah.
forget that.
And
That's
this is
it.
the reason
Brown.
why.
Color is brown.
Exactly.
Religion is Hindu. We are not part of the Christian cartel. That's the thing. Yep.
100%.
Yep.
So, and this is the reason why Jai Shankar, told categorically that we support Russia and we will continue to buy the oil. And today, BRICS is actually coming up with their own currency probably soon.
Absolutely. And I want to say you one thing. Okay, you will agree with me. This is my last conclusion on this, Vinay Ji, that Modi Ji has the pulse of the people in the hand, folks. Modi Ji, Jai Shankar is the voice of Modi Ji. Never forget it. And Modi Ji has the pulse of India in his pocket. Okay,
Correct.
he knows if he goes out and supports Ukraine, people of India will hate him to the death. People support Russia. It's not India supporting. It's Indians supporting Russia. It's a Hindu supporting Russia. Other communities you can never trust.
That's
what
right,
I mean. They do. Christians did against protest. They support America and protested against Kudangulam. This thing, what you call nuclear industry, this thing factory there, nuclear reactors there, and you go to anybody, but Hindus are the loyal bunch to Russia. This is
Exactly.
why that's a thing. Okay, thank you, Vinay Ji. Thank you for joining us, and looking forward to see you in the next video. Okay, it's going to be exciting, friends. Stick around, comment what you like, and one comment, I just want to share. This is from Naveen Venkatesh. Okay, may Maa Kali show the mercy and completely annihilate Ukraine. This is something which we see everywhere. People are so upset, and they say, Putin should mitti mein mila denge unko, jaisa Yogi Ji style. This is trending in Twitter everywhere. And let us know, what do you feel, what do you think, and we will love to hear from you, folks. See you in the next video. Till then, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Vinay Ji.
Thank you.